So most brands are actually pretty bad at content marketing. And it's because a lot of the advice out there is telling them to do something which doesn't generate sustainable, realistic results for 90% of the businesses out there. So if you invest in content marketing, let me just run you through the major problem and a little solution that can generate more consistent leads for your brand. Because here's the problem, right? Most brands take a keyword and content reduction approach to content marketing. They find a keyword that they want to target, produce a piece of content, a high quality piece of content, publish it on their site, and that's it. Give ourselves a pat on the back and say this is a job well done. If we leave that, obviously Google takes 3 to 6 months to rank anything, so we'll just leave it. We'll come back in 3 to 6 months, see if that's ranking, see if it's generating traffic, see if it's generating leads. Wonderful. On to the next one. And then they repeat that cycle again and again and again. And what you end up with when you do that is this constant cycle of identifying topics, of producing content, and of hitting publish, and then waiting. And you're just consistently publishing new content, waiting until you find something that works, waiting for the results to start rolling in, but you're never able to take a step back, really analyze what is working, what's not working, and it is just exhausting. And what ends up happening is you end up with traffic graphs that look something like this. This is what kind of happens with these new pieces of content. This was a piece I published all about how Noom have grown to a $500 million a year brand, right? And so you publish the piece of content, and as with every new piece of content, you roll out the usual typical couple of tweets, LinkedIn post, share it in a Facebook group before you move on to produce the next one. And that's what causes these initial traffic spikes. You go from 0 to, a couple of 10, couple of dozen, couple of 100 visitors per day to that piece. But within a week or two, that initial buzz dies down. The algorithms from these social media sites stop featuring your content, and traffic dips. Often it will dip down to single digits, sometimes, as you see over here, down to nothing. And if you're lucky, like I was with this piece, it gets picked up by news syndication sites. This was picked up by Hacker News and kept being shared out by those guys. Growth Hackers. My bad. And that's when it was picked up here. So, another little spike went down, and then, they shared it out again. Boom, another little spike. But then overall, this piece of content then died a death. Now, I got nothing but great feedback from this piece. People were saying this is amazing. It landed me a couple of clients, 5-figure consulting clients. It helped me launch a new product straight out the gate with a couple of $1,000 in revenue per year just off this one piece. And yet that was all within this period of where people were sharing it, people were viewing it. As soon as it gets over here, that traffic died, those leads died, that revenue that this piece was generating died. So what have I got? I've got two options here. I can either try and produce another piece and try and replicate this again, or I can take this proven asset that I know works and continue to drive traffic to it. And you might be saying, oh yeah, that's great, if you've got the money to pay for ads, boom, good. At this point, I didn't have any money to pay for these ads. I was trying to do this organically, so how can I continue to drive traffic to it? The answer is consistent sharing. And when you can consistently share something, you get a different graph that looks like this. It's the same piece of content, it's on a different site with a different Google Analytics like GA4, but you can see, more consistent traffic that is now on the upswing yet again. But every day there's more and more people coming in to see this thing, all because every day I'm jumping back into this piece, sharing it with my network. So, since I started sharing this piece frequently, more traffic's coming through, more leads, more clients, more customers. Revenue has continued to grow, simply because I keep sharing it out into places where my ideal audience are hanging out. You see, because my site, my business is not big enough in terms of the domain to publish something and have it rank really quickly. And going after those keywords that are really generic, that people like HubSpot are going after, of growth marketing tips, I'm not going to beat those guys. I don't have the resources to generate the links and everything else that I need to come in at number one. So, I've got to be promoting that all the time to continue driving the traffic, the leads, the clients, the customers. Of course, that's not easy. It's very time consuming, right? I mean, who has the time when you're running your business? There's always a ton of other things to do. So how can you continually share content, especially when you've got, say, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100 pieces of content to keep sharing? How can you find a piece of content, write a social media promotional piece with a link, share it on social media, and then come back and carry on with all of the other stuff. It's too much, right? You can't continue to drive traffic if you've got all of these other jobs to do, which is why I created this little content promotion HQ. Basically, every time I produce a piece of content that's driving good results for the business, and I don't produce much content anymore because I've got a couple of pieces that are continually driving customers, clients, subscribers for my business, I add them into this content promotion HQ and I can share it to keep the traffic coming in from an interested audience in as little as 2 to 3 minutes per day. And I can do that across 4 or 5 different sites, 4 or 5 different locations. It takes no time at all. I'll give you a quick run through of actually how this works and how it looks. The promotion HQ that I've created. And as you can see, all of the pieces of content that I've written that have driven some kind of increase in key metrics like subscribers, clients, customers are all in here. And I can filter this down to get a much more focused selection. It's much faster than just going through the blog thinking what needs to be shared today. So I can change that to content type. It needs to be micro study, and then I'll just be left with the micro studies. These are micro studies at the top. I can change it to be full growth study. That'll change those. Or growth study. There you go. Just much easier. You'll notice as well inside we've got images that I can use to share to generate some interest. These are usually custom images that I've created. We've got long and short form copy, and also the places where you want to share it. Because one of the things is, yes, you can use, Hootsuite or whatever to automate these things, but all that they let you do is share to your own social media accounts, like your Twitter, your personal Facebook page, or a group if you own it. Problem is, a lot of the best engagement comes from other groups, subreddits, things like this, where there's some quality traffic, but you just can't automate to share things there. So that's what this gets around. Let's go down and we'll do a short form one. There we go. So all I'll do is I'll copy this and I'll say, right, I want to share that on Twitter. Twitter will open in a new tab. Computer's slowing down because Descript takes up a lot of its memory. Paste that in, get rid of that link because it will ruin the reach of the original. And then add another one. Bosh, done. Right, that's me shared to Twitter. And then if I can do that with that piece of content in 3 or 4 different places today, I'm going to see a nice little uptick in traffic. Not only that, I'm going to build my reputation within those groups on those social platforms with my followers. And that's going to mean that the next thing that I share is going to get better results. And I can keep reusing a lot of the things that I've written here. So you see here, I've got short form copy 1. I don't have short form copy 2 and 3. I might think, what's a good angle for this? Write that down. And I can keep reusing that again and again and again. You might say you don't want to keep resharing the same content, promoting the same things. Bullshit. Because if I'm sharing this thing on Twitter today and in this Facebook group today and that Facebook group today, I can then have got all of these other places to share it tomorrow. I've got a slightly amended version to share the next day. And then you've got to take into consideration these social platform algorithms. A lot of the time, whatever it is that you're sharing isn't going to get seen by, 70-80% of your audience. That will increase. With the more that you do this, the better that reputation becomes, the more the algorithm likes you, the more people who see it. But resharing things time and time again, it's the way to do it. It's all that we're doing with the content. You've created these wonderful pieces of content for your business. By resharing them over and over again on different websites and different groups and different communities, it's just ensuring more people see it. And that in 2 weeks when somebody's forgotten about it, there's a little reminder there in that group again going, hey, this was a great piece of content. You should come back and read this. Sign up to the list. But yeah, it's a really simple HQ, and I'll run you through a little bit now about what exactly the content promotion HQ is and how you can get a copy of this for yourself to make sharing old content and using the pieces of content that used to generate leads that aren't ranking and haven't generated traffic or leads for you in a while, how to get those back up, generating real business results for you. So the content promotion HQ is available to you, and if you purchase today, you don't just get a copy of that template that I just ran you through and that you can enter all of your own content into. You'll also get templates that have been broken down from some of the most highly engagement posts across different networks, including Facebook groups, including LinkedIn, Twitter, all of these things, and basically how to write posts that get people to take note. You'll get a 6-day email course, which will help you fill that out with the most relevant content and basically get you up and running so that within a week, you've got this one headquarters of content that you can just drop into and quickly spend 2 to 3 minutes a day to share across multiple platforms and generate traffic. Inside, you'll also get a couple of videos on how to set things up. It's all in there, basically everything that you need to create an easy content promotion machine that keeps people coming back to your best pieces of content with very, very little time investment on your part is available in Content Promotion HQ. And you can get access right now. It's all available right below this video. So take a look. If you've got any questions, do feel free to reach out to me. But basically, just take your content marketing up a notch. Stop relying on Google. Be proactive. Drive your own leads. Drive your own traffic. Drive your own results. This will help you do exactly that. Hit me up if you've got any questions. If not, I'll see you on the other side and let's start sharing some content.